Right, ignore the sounds of the clicking from the dog who I don't know wants me to hand feed her, or she wants me to watch her eat for some reason. Click links, join the channel, become a member here over at Subscribestar. Thanks to the new members over there. And I got a mailbox. I'm gonna mail you some comics. Thanks to Vegan and LG for sending me those 80s classics. So this Disney is going to be re-releasing some Bombing Cancer in the big screen in a desperate search for more money after they had a string of woke failures. And honestly, I think that string for Disney is going to continue. Disney's is in trouble, as I've been saying for a while, and I think they're going to continue that, where they have this reputation now of making anti-family movies that lose money, which is weird because they used to be a family-friendly company, which people thought of as safe. You know, you just put the kids down in front of a VHS or DVD of... we're up to Blu-rays now, boomers. Yeah, well, I'm up to external hard drives and a VPN. I was just, if you have the legal right to download things, I think you can legally make yourself a backup copy. That's all I'm saying is, you get like a couple of 5 terabyte hard drives and you're pretty well set. Anyway, Disney got taken over by filthy globalist parasites. And they're not a family-friendly company anymore. Some will refer to it like a band that keeps replacing members until there's no originals left. It's a creature that is a shell taken over by parasites. Well, that's the modern Disney, a parasite-infested zombie. And the thing is, I think Leonard Skinner had that. The thing is, like, they're fine. It's a fine band because it's like the best cover band on earth, essentially, is what it is. Playing up at the... Katati Cabaret and Clear Lake and all those kind of places. Anyway, so one of the movies that they're going to release on the big screen, like, what the hell is a Katati Cabaret? It's been gone for 20 years. I know. One of the movies they're going to release on the big screen is Turning Red, which was limited due to the Wu flu, and it lost $170 million. Or what's that, Clear Lake? There's like a venue up in Clear Lake where... like the fair bands play, like Huey Lewis on the News or Pat Benatar, Lita Ford, whoever's still, he's still trying to tour, and you can go see those kind of shows. They tour like local fairs and whatnot. Anyway, so if you look up Turning Red, it'll say the Turning Red controversy, which most people I thought was the themes in the movies, the movie that parents weren't on board with. It was something about sexualizing kids too early and teaching them to disobey their parents. The whole movie had some weird feeling that it was off somehow. It was a string. One of the strings was slightly out of tune, and you just couldn't figure out why the chord sounds so discordant. There's just something was wrong with it. People couldn't put a finger on it, but they knew something. It felt dark. It felt sinister, a little satanic, honestly. And that there's kind of a vague undercurrent with Disney now, where there's some connection to children, like they want to brainwash them somehow, which is, I think more and more people are becoming aware about. But people used to rely on Disney for, family safe videos, and they're getting the feeling that something's wrong with Disney, and people just don't want to waste their time with it, so they just stop watching. They have the old stuff. The old stuff's all you need. Disney used to be sweet and wholesome, and the stuff they put out now feels like it's, made for an island off the coast of Florida type of thing. In the first few minutes of Turning Red, the little girl is dancing around, which is fine, but then she's shaking her butt for the camera view. It just feels a little odd that she's shaking her butt. I guess that's okay in a dance for kids, but you wouldn't have her face the camera. It's just a little not age appropriate. It's just, you just look at it and you're like, this is just, something's wrong here. And the girls are sexually obsessed with some little boy band from 15, 20 years ago, which is totally normal in the Weimar West, but to shine a light on the sexualization of children was not normal. Like, a lot of this stuff is normal. Conversations between a mom and a daughter, she's going through puberty, they're perfectly normal, but those are private conversations between women and girls. It's not something you make a movie about. And there's a line in the movie about the mom talking about the girl keeping her petals clean or something. It's like, okay, that's, when we refer to things as flowers and that kind of stuff and, coming of age, that's fine. Like, how to hygiene and stuff for moms and daughters. You just don't make a movie and talk about that. It's just too much information. It's just, yes, puberty, but you don't put in a Disney movie. The whole thing is it feels like it's all in bad taste. It's not overtly, like, you can't say, oh, this is some kind of Epstein stuff. It's just, it's just it's TMI, the whole movie. Anyway, the whole movie, you're asking yourself, why are they portraying kids like this? It's like the director doesn't understand boundaries, and I think it was a woman director, or it's coming from a different culture where this is accepted, except this isn't accepted in any like nation or ethnic culture. This is like just kind of the stuff you see in Sodom and Gomorrah in the new world globalist type of thing. So this has got a totally different feel from older Disney movies, and of course, all the bad people in the cartoon have got blonde hair, and all the good people have dark hair, and that's just standard Disney, anti-white Disney. That's going to be the future too. Even when more and more people start pointing out their unusual bias, they're not going to change that. They're committed to that bit. Anyway, so people were not cool with this globalist propaganda, or it was just every other scene was something kind of weird. And the other issue was that the one reviewer who said in the first line of the review that goes, yeah, this movie's not for me, and he gave it a bad review, which shouldn't be a problem, but that's when things went off the rail, because the Twitter virtue signaling crowd lost their minds over one bad review. Now, what I think happened is the movie hugely bombed, $170 million to the negative, and it was a globalist propaganda movie, and you can't criticize them because it's their narrative that they're trying to push. They have to sexualize kids because, they're all those island types. The other thing is the reviewer, I think, was of European descent, so it was an opportunity for the 2 minutes of hate. They took the chance to put the blonde man in his place to let him know where he was on the pecking order. And the reviewer had no idea he was going to get the kind of heat he got. Like, I'm sure it was just inconceivable to him. But the thing is, it also helped shift focus away from the bombing movie, as if his one little review could cause $170 million in damages, where the rest of the reviews gave it I think it was like a 94%. So the whole movie had these weird sexual scenes, which it's normal for kids to have crushes, whatever, but it's not normal to make a movie about little girls hiding under their beds, drawing, having fantasies about boys and stuff. Just the whole way it was portrayed was just too much. It was like, it felt like, well, okay, what else is she doing under the bed? Like, it was too much of a metaphor for other things, and they were like 12-year-old girls or something. The whole thing was just weird. The other thing was the Twitter slacktivists sending a message that if anyone went against the narrative, they would destroy them, which is going to have a chilling effect on free speech and honest reviews, which is absolutely the point, because they'll just call those reviews racist. So that means movies like Black Panther or Turning Red can only get positive reviews. Reviewers know which way the wind is blowing. That's why Black Panther got like almost 100% score for a movie that is not a very good movie. It's right in the middle of the Marvel bell curve for movies. Like it's just a C+ movie. It doesn't deserve a 98%. Oh yeah, it's better than Star Wars. No, you're just scared to give it an honest review. Anyway, so like giving these kind of movies, woke messaging narrative movies, it means they can't get bad scores. Like, doesn't that seem like a problem? Because movies suck, and the professional reviewers, they just they weaken their. You can't trust them if you know that they're going to give these woke movies these kind of scores, because the movies aren't really movies. They're just, they're openly propaganda. Then they're telling you must not criticize the narrative of the regime. And it doesn't mean that people will go see the movies. It just means that these movies are a religion, and it's the dogma of the globalist regime. Anyway, so Disney is re-releasing it on the big screen to make some money back, which is, if there's nothing else playing, they will make some money back. You're negative $170 million. Maybe they can pick up $30 million. It's better than nothing. But the thing is, there's reputational damage and reputational harm, which is why Warner Brothers didn't release that Batgirl movie that they'd spent over $100 million on, because to them, they knew the reputational harm, the association with Warner Brothers and bombing films, it wasn't worth it. They'd rather eat the $100 million loss. And Disney's in this position now where their reputation is getting worse with every movie that comes out. because I mean, they're nothing but globalist propaganda. And when you make videos, there's a guy on Odyssey who's triggered that I use the word woke, or on Twitter or something. People they lose their mind, and you go, yeah, but you're not seeing the movies either, and they don't have an answer to that. Anyway, so the thing is, this reminds people how Disney is with kids, how weird they are, that, there's something else going on. And the thing is, if I point to all these scenes in the movie and I go, yeah, this feels like a metaphor for her engaging in some sort of adult activity. It's like, oh, you're just reading into that. No, because everyone else said the same thing too. She's showing people her panda. It was too much. It was too much on the nose. And when the scene, when the mother tells her about keeping her delicate petals clean. Okay, and then the next scene, it cuts to the school, and it's like the mascot's in the background. They go, "Let's go Beavers." It's the mascot for the school. It's like, it's too much all at once. It's like, I don't know if you're doing this stuff consciously or subconsciously, or the thing is, in their mind, like the women who did this movie, they're they really believe all this kind of globalist stuff where they're into sexualizing kids. That's the left wing, and so this is the new Disney, and they're putting this stuff out there, and most people are not on board with it, which is why the thing lost $170 million. So them re-releasing it is probably going to cause them more damage than the money they'll make on it, I think. So the whole time she's talking about her panda, it's like, it feels like you're alluding to something else. It's just vaguely uncomfortable. It's not like there's not one thing you can point to. It's just the totality of the circumstances. Like, you're just reading into that. It's you who's sexualizing kids. No, I'm pretty sure it's the Epsteins over at Disney who are doing this kind of thing. Anyway, so that's good luck with that in the re-release. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys all next episode. Oh God! The whole movie was just fucking weird.